What's up, fam? I'm here with a new video. It's an alarming video for our segment I'm a Christian and I am doubting God. Recently, I've been reading through my newsfeed and I found this really alarming story in CNN about this Christian artist called Jonathan Steinberg, who, after 20 years almost of being in this Christian band called Hawk Nelson, has come out and declared himself an agnostic, has rejected any belief in God. And, that was just scary. How can a Christian singer, after so many years, just quit on God? The experience that he shares as a Christian pastor's kid was something real frightening, because he grew up a Christian, and he says that he really never understood the whole idea of being Christian. He said he's been a couple years in doubting this, but has finally declared his doubts publicly. And the feedback that he got was incredible. Hundreds of people answered that they themselves also felt this sort of doubt. And before you tell me, well, if you're doubting God, you're not really a Christian, that's not how it happens. Before you tell me that, I want you to look at your own experience. Many times, Christian life is frustrating. It's always expected of us to be good, and nobody will cheer or clap, no matter how hard we try or how much we do. But as soon as we make a mistake, people will fall on our backs, hey, listen, you're supposed to be doing this and that. And if that wasn't enough, we have to keep inside of ourselves fear or any negative feeling, doubt that we might have about our faith. Because if we tell somebody, they might judge us, they might look at us the wrong way, or they'll take us with a pastor if they have time. And of course, what he's going to say is we need to read the Bible more, pray, or have some sort of evil cast out from us. And whether you've experienced it or not, this is the reality of hundreds, if not thousands, of Christians all over the world. They're experiencing this exact situation. And you might ask, how can somebody have so many doubts? How can somebody suffer this? How can you reach this point? Or how can I avoid it? Of course, it's not God's plan that we as children live these doubts constantly. But if He doesn't want us to be doubting, why is there so many unanswered questions? Why are all the pain? Why all the suffering? Why would a loving God send His Son to die? Why would He condemn so many people to destruction? Why would a loving God do this or that? And all these questions. And I finally realized that doubting or questioning God is kind of part of a Christian life. All we need to do is just look at the life of one of the writers of the Christian Gospels, and I'm talking about John Mark, who in the middle of a missionary trip with Paul and Barnabas, he just threw the towel. He really just quit on them. And how about Gideon, somebody that God has chosen to be used in mightily, and he was like, God ain't with us. Who is the God of Israel? Why He hasn't helped us now? Maybe a more known example is that of Thomas, doubting Thomas. But despite of that, God used them. God used all of these people, and those are only just a couple of the examples. How about David, when he fled to the Philistines? Or how about Abraham, when he lied about his wife being his sister, when she was really his wife, and he did it twice, not only once? And how about John the Baptist, the guy that prepared a way for the Messiah, and having seen the signs, having baptized Jesus and everything, while he was in jail, he was doubting if Jesus really was the Messiah. When we look at these men, we know that they were heroes of faith. We know these were men of God. But at one given point, they doubted God. They questioned God. And they questioned what He could do. But just because of this, they were not cast out from God's kingdom. They didn't lose their calling. Actually, quite the opposite. They were great instruments in the hands of God. But then you might ask yourself, wait, I thought doubting was bad. Well, actually, doubting is not bad when you doubt about who you are, what you can do, and not what God can do for you. If we knew everything that's going to happen, if everything we have to do, if everything that's going to happen to us, I'm almost sure that more than one would just walk away. Others, maybe we get proud because we think, oh, look what God's going to do for us. And some others would just stop looking for God, stop seeking God's direction, because they would have the plan all laid out. And that's why I feel God doesn't reveal everything right from the get-go. Sometimes He shows us the goal, the destination, but he doesn't show us the path to the destination. Or sometimes he shows us the next step, but not the direction. Not so that we doubt him, but so that in those moments of unknown, we look for him. And so doubting is not bad. The problem is what you do with that doubt. If you're looking for answers in yourself, in what you're feeling, in the world, in logic, some people are like, God, if you're there, just show yourself. If you're looking for an immediate answer right now, right here, something I can see, something I can feel, you'll probably end up, unfortunately, like the singer Jonathan Steinberg. But let me tell you, this is not the only solution. In the Bible, there is an answer to our inquiry. There's Revelation 12:11. I want you to read it with me. It says, "And they have defeated him by the blood of the Lamb and by their testimony, and they did not love their lives so much that they were afraid to die." First of all, I like the fact that it says that they already won, because the battle hadn't even taken place, and it says they already overcame, they already won. But the interesting thing is, what does my testimony have to do with defeating Satan, right? Maybe we first need to understand what a testimony is, and that's just basically remembering what God has done in the past for us. And the thing is that if we remember what God has done for us in the past, how he has provided for us before, at least for me, it just gives me so much hope to know that he's there in my situation and he'll continue to be there. Just remember for a sec what you were before you met Jesus. Even if you were born in the church, I hope you see it as clear as I do, that you are not where you, like, that you wouldn't be here if it weren't for God. But if for any reason, when you look back in your life, you feel like there's nothing worth testifying, if you feel like your testimony doesn't give you the strength that you need to keep on going forward, let me invite you to call out to Jesus. And if there's something that, for me at least, it uplifts me a lot when I'm feeling doubt, is reading the story of the father of the demon-possessed young man. And this father comes to Jesus as the last measure, because the disciples weren't even able to cast out the demon. And now that he's in front of Jesus, and in this moment of desperation with little to no faith, he cries out to Jesus, "Lord, help me believe." And with that simple little prayer, Jesus was able to work a miracle in his life. And he's willing to do the same thing for you. So just look for him. Look for God with all your heart. Remember what he has done in the past for you, and look for him. Not expecting lightning or a sign in the sky that says, "Here I am." But in your heart, he will put that peace, that trust, that you can only find when, even if you don't understand things, when you don't see it, when you don't hear him, you know that he's there. And he's working in your behalf. So that's this week's video, fam. I really want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel and to share this video. Putting it on your social media can be such a huge blessing, like you don't even know what it could do for somebody out there. And well, next week, there's going to be another video, so turn on the little notification bell, so you can be alerted when I upload the next video. May the Lord bless you, and I'll see you next week.